Hello, and welcome to the Cantina Chatter Podcast. My name is Victoria, and I'm your host on this galactic adventure through all things Star Wars, film and television, toys, theme parks, video games, and more. Welcome, you guys. It's the first episode of 2021. And I thought we'd do something different this time by inviting all of the contributors to Cantina Chatter onto the show, so we could just have a little chat, discuss anything that we want to talk about regarding Star Wars. I don't have any notes. I don't have any format. This is the first time we've done something like this. So, I think it's going to be great. And I think I'm going to go ahead and introduce each of you guys here. Anyone that's listened to the show before knows your voices. We're going to put the video for this on YouTube, which is a first, and I want to make that a more regular thing going forward. So first up, we have Tom Chorlton, who is a collecting correspondent on Cantina Chatter. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm great, Victoria. Very, very good. Have a delicious gin and tonic here to help me be less nervous on camera, and excited to talk about Star Wars.
Nice. I hear you there. I've got my Italian canned wine here that doesn't show up on the camera for some reason. And then we have Dano from the Dano channel on YouTube. And Dano, you are the contributor for theme parks. So we've talked Galaxy's Edge a couple of times. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, no problem. I've got my Galaxy's Edge Oga's Cantina mug with a Coruscant cooler, since we're all showing off our drinks today. But yeah, I'm excited to hang out and talk Star Wars for a bit with you guys.
Nice. And then we have Adam, who is our contributor for games. Adam, how are you doing?
Hi, I am very well, thank you. Virtually nothing in the background, a bit of a Godzilla poking through the side of the frame, and I have water. Mainly because I was going to make a cup of tea, because I'm that essentially English. And I don't drink alcohol, so what are you going to do?
Water, it's essential, right? It's one of the ingredients to life. So.
I make a pitcher of black iced tea and drink it every single day.
I'm not a fan of cold tea. Nah, to us, tea is just tea.
Yeah, I grew up with iced teas. I in Texas, that's what we drank all the time. So, yeah, absolutely love tea. And then we have Dave, Jurassic Dave 93, who contributes on TV and film on the show, and we've talked Jurassic before on Cantina Chatter in the past, I think. So, Dave, thanks for being here as well.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. It's nice to see everyone's faces for once and talk some Star Wars and stuff. It's going to be fun. Been pretty boring here this winter, not seeing a whole lot of people, and we're going to make this fun.
Absolutely. I'm excited about doing this. And I see your Ghostbusters in the back. That is so cool.
Yeah, I just put that little shelf there. The whole desk behind me here was just stuff, and that was everything that was on my desk. I'm just making space, tightening up.
Nice.
Is that the vintage Ecto one?
Yes, that's my childhood one, and I just recently stripped all the stickers and put new stickers on it and cleaned it up. But yeah, that's the one I had when I was a kid.
My heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My room is under construction. I'm sure some of you guys have seen what I've been working on. I got a light project. I've got things going on. I'll show you guys when we're done with this. So right now I'm on the Death Star. So hello from outer space somewhere.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Don't blow it up. Not yet. So what's good, guys? Mandalorian's been a huge thing lately in Star Wars.
Yes.
Everything is about Mandalorian. You cannot escape it. The memes.
Well, this is the way.
This is the way. Yeah, you have people talking about it on the street that don't normally talk Star Wars. Like, I have relatives that don't care about Star Wars. They're talking about Mando. It's just such a huge thing right now, and I think that is so cool to see everybody talking Star Wars.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is that it's something that's come from Star Wars, come from Lucasfilm in recent times. That's just been a huge critical and commercial success, I would say as well. Just something that's universally beloved, practically. I mean, of course, when you talk about the sequel trilogy, for example, you can't really talk about them without them having some divisions within fan communities, and of course, Star Wars movies are always going to have some divisions, but I don't think there's been really those kinds of divisions with the Mandalorian, and I think that's really cool. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I'm still processing a lot of season 2.
Yeah, I still think about it a lot too. It was just I was really happy with it. A really satisfied fan here.
Yeah, no, it's you. I think you nailed everything with that. This is probably one of the best times to be a Star Wars fan. I mean, I've been into it since about 95, 96 when I got into it as a kid, as a teenager, and just collecting-wise, the stuff that's available to us, the fact that we can talk about this stuff just more openly with more people who get it. That's it. That's what Star Wars has always been about for me, was finding those friends who are like, who are the Star Wars people that would, at lunch we can sit and talk about Star Wars and talk about, oh, did Boba Fett, survive the Sarlacc? And here we are years and years later and still talking about how did he get out? And it's amazing that we are, but now more people are included in that conversation. So it's really cool.
Back when I was in college, this was before Attack of the Clones came out, a friend of mine named Glenn kept being on the Boba Fett's alive train. Boba Fett's totally alive. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's dead. Boba Fett is dead. And I drew this big, drawing of him getting dragged into the Sarlacc pit, which is the big words, Boba Fett is dead, and gave it to him. Just, And I have to go onto Facebook and be like, hey, Glenn, you were right. Boba Fett's alive. And actually an interesting character. I liked him in the show. Of course, Temuera Morrison just... Man, that guy, every single thing that he's in, when he was in Spartacus for a bit, right? He was like one of the gladiator trainers in the Spartacus TV series. Excellent in that.
Oh yeah.
Even his minor role in Aquaman, he's just magnetic.
He's brilliant. Magnetic. I've met a couple of the Fett actors, Daniel Logan and Jeremy Bulloch. And Temuera Morrison is the one I want to meet. He is the top of my list, basically. And a part of that reason is because when I was getting into Star Wars, I was introduced to it through the special editions in '97, and then the prequel trilogy came around. I was like, brilliant, more Star Wars, and one of my favourite video games is Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and that really broke down the concept of video games and movies and stuff being completely separate entities, because in Bounty Hunter, prequel to Attack of the Clones from Jango Fett's side, Temuera Morrison and Leanna Walsman reprised their roles. To me, that absolutely blew my mind, and I think it's because of that I have such a fondness for Bounty Hunter, and because of that, I think Temuera became one of my favourite actors as well. And it's like I went to New Zealand in 2004 and I saw his face on one of the museum video screens. I was like, that's Django. So anytime I see him, I'm just extremely excited. And I mean, If I may, at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1, when he came back, absolutely on top of the world, just like, is it him? Is it him? Is it him? He turns around, it's him! Yeah, and the weird thing is, sorry for ramble here, but the weird thing is, I had a theory a day or two after that episode came out that he wasn't actually looking to get his armor back or anything. Because I saw one of these, post-analysis videos on YouTube that said, Fett is back and he wants his armor back. And I was like, hang on a second, is he actually wanting his armor back? Because he turns around, he walks away. So let's think about this. He's got the idea. The thing about the Mandalorian is identity, I believe, anyway. And the Mandalorian's identity, and it's like Boba Fett has one of the most twisted identities possible. He's a clone of a bounty hunter who we now know is adopted by Mandalorian. Anyway, my theory was completely wrong by the time he was introduced back again. and I found that hilarious.
I do wonder if he'd been, following the fellow that had the Boba Fett armor. I don't remember the character's name.
Cobb Vanth. Yeah.
Why he didn't go to get the armor from him, but
because that was another thing to my theory, because it was like 5 years after the Return of the Jedi, was it? And it's like in all that time, Boba Fett's the kind of resilient character who you'd think if he wants something, he would be after it.
We'll find out in the Book of Boba Fett, right?
Yeah,
I had to change my background also. Your story reminded me of this awesome picture I got with everybody. Awesome. All the Fetts in one room.
Amazing.
They even did a little video for me. It was so nice. I had to put that up because I was like, everybody's there.
Oh, wow.
That is so cool.
That's amazing.
I mean, rest.
And it's from years ago, but it just got so much cooler this year after season 2.
Yes, and of course, rest in peace, Jeremy Bulloch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I met him at my local Comic-Con a couple of years ago, which was incredible. And this was 2017, and I'd already met him at Star Wars Celebration Europe in 2016, and he actually remembered meeting me, which I thought was really cool. And
he's like, I remember you. You're the one that was crying and sobbing, right? You threw yourself at me.
Well, yes, but no. The beautiful thing meeting him in Bradford, my home city, for their Comic-Con, was that he agreed to do an interview for my radio show. I do a local community radio show. He agreed to do an interview for that. I got to talk to him not just about Star Wars, but his other appearances in James Bond and Doctor Who, and a couple of hours later, they were playing some AC/DC over the PA, over the tannoy, and he was air guitaring the monkeys out of that. You have not been to a Comic-Con unless you've seen Jeremy Bulloch rock out to AC/DC.
That's great.
And it was awesome.
That's neat.
Cool.
Well, what do you guys think? I was always one of those people, too cool for school, whatever. I didn't care for Boba Fett too much because everybody thought he was cool, and I'm just like, hey, he's just a bounty hunter or whatever. And it really brought me around on this season. I was always like Jango Fett better. He had a lot more to do in the prequel trilogy.
No, for real, Boba was hype.
I don't know. I'm glad to great in the show.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. He was a cool action figure, right? He didn't do anything in the movies. He's just sort of like, he looks cool, which is okay. I think everyone's forgetting that he's clearly not the best one of those bounty hunters. The best one is Zuckuss, and there's not any love for Zuckuss out there, right? He's obviously the best. He's got a big bug head, and he's kind of short and stocky, which means he's tougher. He's ready to get in there. But no, we just keep talking about Boba Fett. Though I'll eat my own hat if Zuckuss doesn't show up in the Book of Boba Fett.
That'd be cool.
Oh, I want to see everybody in Book of Boba Fett. I want Bosk, I want Zuckuss, Forlom, all of them. They have to, right?
They'll do that.
Oh yeah,
they have to. They have to.
I'm a bit of a Cad Bane fan as well, so I want him to show up. Even if he doesn't show up, I want him to. I want some idea of where he is at that point in the timeline, because obviously after the Clone Wars, Imperial occupation, there's literally nothing. There's one sentence on the Legends section of his wiki or Wikipedia that says he was also operating during the Imperial occupation. It's like, yeah, okay, give us something.
I thought that one of the deleted Clone Wars arcs was about Boba Fett and Cad Bane, and Boba Fett kills him in it.
Oh yeah, the shootout.
I hope they didn't make that into an actual thing. Let's do away with that.
Yeah,
and have Cad Bane show up in the present, because I love Cad Bane. I remember I mocked the heck out of Cad Bane when he was introduced. It's Cad Bane. He's a bounty hunter. He's got guns coming out of guns. And it was like, oh, this is so ridiculous. And then it is ridiculous, but it's wonderfully ridiculous. He's such a fun character.
Whenever they introduce a new character, I feel like it's getting a new album from your favorite band or something, and you don't really like the songs the first time you hear it, but the more the rotates on and you like it more and more. Because it's just me with every new character. It's like, I don't know about this, and I don't know if I'm going to buy that action figure, and then I see 2 episodes, and I'm like, gimme, I need that one.
You still don't have Zero the Hutt.
Yeah.
I hated Zero the Hutt. When I first saw Zero the Hutt, I was like, this is the worst thing Star Wars has ever done. I was in the rare camp that loved Ahsoka right off the bat. I was like, oh, she's fun.
Right.
But Zero the Hutt, awful. Until the episode at the end of the season where Cad Bane busts him out of prison. I'm like, it's Zero! Like, that sort of ironic-like thing turning itself on its head. It's like, now, nope, I legitimately like this character now.
Yeah, he talked really weird. I think that was the thing for me. I'm like, he sounds like that? Like, Hutt can sound like that? That's so interesting.
Yeah. It was the Truman Capote style voice, wasn't it? but that's the thing I love. One of my favourite things about the Clone Wars in general, then of course Rebels, is that giving these variety of voices from all sorts of different inspirations and stuff. Like, I wouldn't have clocked Cad Bane's voice if I just saw him, because I'm a big fan of the spaghetti westerns, so it recognised instantly that he was based on Lee Van Cleef from for a few dollars more and the Good, the Bad and the Ugly. But the voice isn't exactly based on Lee Van Cleef's, and it's like
Peter Lorre, right? The voice?
Sorry?
I think the voice is based off of Peter Lorre.
Yes. Yeah, that rings a bell, yeah. But yeah, I absolutely love his voice, though. I mean, I try to imitate all the time, but I think he runs it through a some sort of synthesizer, a bit like Frank Welker did for Soundwave. So, his was about called. Anyway, I'm rambling.
Like Batman does.
Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger?
Gravel in his throat.
Where's the trigger?
Someone knows where he is. There we go.
I hope that show really like fleshes out, just like Boba's been fleshed out a little more. I know we're gonna get more of him, but these other bounty hunters, maybe we'll see how Dengar. Because Tom, I know we talked about this in the Rise of Skywalker visual dictionary, how it shows like how Dengar became like
he's
this.
So weird looking.
Yeah. I want to see how that happens.
that is one of the most bizarre developments, and is
that what he's been like under the bandages the whole time? Is it?
Yeah. If they do bring him back, I hope he doesn't have that Simon Pegg Cockney voice again.
Oh no, I wanted to be played by Simon Pegg. That would be amazing. And get what's Nick Frost? Get Nick Frost to be Zuckuss.
Do you know what that
would
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Here's what I want from the Boba Fett show, and this is where I'm not the biggest fan of the Mandalorian.
Right.
I want to see a group of characters have character dynamics and like arcs and like character drama. Not just, I don't want to just see action. The episode of the week, it's Boba Fett goes to a planet and he needs to do a job, and he goes to a thing and he shoots the guy, and then he gets the job and he goes to the next. I don't want to see that. I feel Mandalorian's a little bit too much of that for me.
Right.
Though the work that goes into the show is incredible, I feel like the writing is a little bit too simplistic. I hope that these other shows have a little bit more arcs that slowly build with, multiple cast members, preferably ones you can see their face. Because I don't... The mask thing ended up being great at the end of Mandalorian Season 2, because when he removes the mask to talk to the little puppet, that's a beautiful, well-earned moment. And I know it's based off of that Pedro Pascal wasn't really on set during Season 1, so it's just a voiceover, so it's working around that, but it worked really well. But for Boba Fett, I want Tamara Morrison there, and I want him to have the helmet off, and I want him hanging out with Fennec Shand?
Strand, I think it is.
Fennec, because she's such an incredible actress. It's the buzzer. When she showed up in Season 1...
That's Dave Filoni telling you, what did you say about The Mandalorian?
Wait, what did you say?
That's Dave Filoni ringing you saying, what did you say about The Mandalorian?
I know, I'm Mr. Unpopular Opinions here. But in that first episode where Ming-Na showed up, I thought that was just an absolutely dreadful episode. But I was like, oh, it's got Ming-Na. And then she just shot by these guys. I was like, but you got Ming-Na, and that's it? So her being back
Yeah,
I was almost as big a clap on her being back as seeing Boba Fett again.
I was super happy that she came back as well, and I was like when you saw the mysterious character approach her at the end of her first episode, and it's like that was my fingers crossed, and it was like, yeah, hopefully that comes to something, and thankfully it did.
I'm glad it ended up being Boba Fett. I thought it was right away, and then as the episodes went on, I was like, maybe not.
I want her action figure, and I want it with a removable thing to show her robot guts.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just so much fun.
Awesome.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, bonus points if they're squishy and you can pull them out. And
that would be so great. That would be so great.
Ooh, biomechanicals. Yeah. So we'll be sending our list to Hasbro at the forwarding address.
Okay, so they did the Fan First Friday yesterday. Any of you guys follow that?
Yeah.
I caught some of the reveals from that. Yeah. I'm liking a couple of the releases I'm seeing. I'm not big on collecting many of the characters now. I'm mainly focusing on the vintage collection because I'm a stickler for the 3 3/4 inch.
Same.
But like the Ahsoka figure, I'm very happy with that. So more in that direction, please.
I squealed with delight with Ahsoka and Darth Maul.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Long overdue.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very.
Yeah, really excited for those ones. The other ones, nah.
The Walmart exclusives. There's not going to be any issues with those. No issues at all.
Oh no.
What issues with Walmart exclusives? I'd never heard about this before.
Oh my God, I mean, I was happy to see that those are figures I didn't care about, so I'm like, I don't have to worry about it, But I know lots of other people want them and probably won't be able to get them now. So.
Well, it's telling that they began the live stream by saying, hey, we got to, acknowledge that, pre-orders exclusives have been really rough. And, so, they know, they're aware of it, obviously, but is it going to change? Usually doesn't. So it just,
there's nothing they can
Walmart,
do.
No, not really.
So
Walmart canceling pre-orders and then the next day selling them at triple the price.
That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Have they ever done anything like that before? That was astonishing.
I've seen they do
stuff.
They do it through like third-party stuff, but I think this was official Walmart,
and they don't control that. Yeah, third-party sellers can charge whatever they want. Yeah. But for Walmart themselves to do it, that was dirty.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's crazy.
They understand that people want this stuff. At the same time, they don't care how people get it or if they get it. It's crazy.
Yeah, because for big box stores like that, toys isn't even a thing that they get money from, right? Big box stores get money when you go in there and you buy a big piece of furniture or expensive television. Toys is just it's another thing. So they hold all the cards since Toys R Us got, bankrupted. They get to control what happens. Like, as upset as I am that these things are Walmart exclusives, if they weren't exclusives there, they just wouldn't exist. And that stinks. Although I tend to think that things like the Black Series Ahsoka Tano wave with the Mandalorian, and I kind of get the feeling that could have gone to anywhere and would have sold gangbusters, but I don't know what goes into their thinking with these things.
Nothing.
I hate the FOMO drive
just
with
keeping
these
it real
toys now that Toys R Us is gone. Because you always used to be able to go into a Toys R Us and pick something up that's 2-3 years old, and now it's like, place pre-order now. I might never ever see this ever again, and it's stressful.
Yeah,
it's changed collecting so much. And it's made it so much harder. It's like not even fun sometimes.
Yeah.
And they've taken away the hunt from us. The hunt was, like we were talking about before we started, that's kind of what the collecting is going out on Saturday and hitting up 5 different stores and finding it on the peg and getting that exciting feeling when you're like, I see it, and I'll leave one for someone else. I'll take the good one, though. And, and like a lot of that's gone because you pre-order and then it's a gamble on whether they packed it right or not.
I'm doing more with Big Bad Toy Store these days because I know if I order it from them, it'll show up. Good. Amazon, it'll show up just bashed to bits, but if I'm opening it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm going to be the odd bod of the bunch here because and because of course I'm the English one, because our toy hunting / shopping situation slightly different over here. So, but like we have two big toy retailers over here, the Entertainer and Smiths. Both have their own types of exclusive. Like Smiths is what became the main competitor to Toys R Us over here before that went under. And at one point, I was just ecstatic that my city had like 3 big toy stores at once. I was like, this has never happened before. This is amazing. But distribution isn't great here as well because, like for our Entertainer, for example, they still have stock from like 2017, 2016, from all kinds of lines and waves. And it's sometimes they will get a delivery that's actually up to date, but that's only because it's been pushed forward in front of like 2-3 crates in the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I'm hoping for the new vintage collection figures, like with Chiru Timway, because they're on the website, and more often than not, if they're on the website, they appear in the pegs on the shelves. But then again, sometimes it is a bit hit and miss, especially with because like in my county, my city isn't like the main city, it's the city next door called Leeds, and therefore their Entertainer gets the best stuff, the best and the newest and the shiniest, and our Entertainer is a bit more residual. So sometimes, and I think the same goes for the Smiths as well. So we tend to get the leftover stock in some cases. Sometimes we will find figures and waves that are like 3 years old, because they've suddenly found another shipment that they've brought in from somewhere. And that throws a spanner in the works because you'll have been hunting for that, you've forgotten about it, and it's like, hang on, I've got this rare Dimorphodon I haven't seen in since 2019. What's going on? But it's really bizarre over here. I think unless you've worked there, in my case, it's like it's very difficult to get your head around.
Yeah, I think the Endor Leia they revealed yesterday. It's just really unfortunate. It's a 2007 sculpt. The soft goods on it are so baggy. They just released one in Black Series that is gorgeous. And then instead of utilizing that sculpt to make a new one for vintage, they're doing one from all these years ago with the new head. It just really kind of kills me a little because they're probably not going to do that figure again, not anytime soon anyway, so it's such a missed opportunity.
No, yeah, would they do one for the 40th Return of the Jedi anniversary? Is there a chance of that?
In vintage, probably not.
No. It seems like there's a bit of a discourse or disparity between the guys who do Black Series and the guys who do vintage.
I think a lot of it has to do with, looking through yesterday's reveals, there were 2 new vintage collection figures, right? Ahsoka and Maul. If I'm not mistaken, everything else is a repack, right? There's the Obi-Wan with the vinyl cape. There's a Jawa again. There's Greedo without the vest. They're repacks. They've got updated face stuff, which is cool. Like they fixed Qui-Gon's head, so I may get that one. But even those ones, it's just 4 repacks. There's a black clone trooper now. Okay, cool. If I like the Bad Batch, rather, I'll pick one of those up. But I haven't seen it yet, and for me currently, it's just another clone. And I think that the 3 vintage collection ones, I think that the Ewok is a existing sculpt. Am I mistaken?
Which one?
Isn't the Ewok? That's an existing sculpt that they just...
Yeah,
right.
It is. That was a Lumat in the previous vintage.
Got it, yeah.
Repainted now.
Right, so I get the feeling a lot of these things are just, what do we already have the tooling for, because they don't have they're not getting the lion's share of the funding to make new stuff anymore. That's why you have a Fan First Friday that's like, look at all these repacks. It's good because people, there's people that want Qui-Gon that don't have Qui-Gon. So great, put him out on the shelf again. That's awesome. But it's just repacks.
Well, how long does it take them, like in the pipeline, like they were talking about yesterday? How long does it take them from developing a figure, deciding the character they're going to make, to getting it out to retail? Because could we be in like some sort of lull now where they definitely wound down, or they overproduced way too much for Force Awakens and Last Jedi stuff? And really, the resurgence of popularity has only been about a year and a half now since Mandalorian. So maybe we'll start to see that pick up in 2022, 23. I don't know.
I think
what
it
do you
takes.
guys think?
I've heard in the past that it takes about 18 months.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that because
Yeah.
that's from like the Masters of the Universe Classics, I think. But I
Yeah,
think it's about 18
a year
months.
to 18 months.
Yeah. Yeah. The fastest turnaround ever was Baby Yoda.
Yes.
Which, awesome. Yeah, so maybe, but, Star Wars always kind of has that excuse, well, it's not a movie year, so we're not doing these things, or it's not, it's not part of the current thing. Whereas
Not an
Marvel
excuse anymore.
Legends, a month ago, had their Fan First Friday where they released an entire brand new wave of X-Men characters from a comic book from the 90s. Like, they're consistently getting new things, not based off of, whatever, WandaVision action figures, which sign me up for black and white WandaVision action figures, okay? Sign up right now. I want them in their goofy sitcom outfits, and
I'd buy those too.
it'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. If we have Halloween this year, maybe that'll be one of the costumes that goes around. But yeah, Marvel keeps getting new stuff all the time, and Star Wars tends to get like not much.
Yeah, well, Marvel has all the sculpts that they can share. If you go to like comic book like images, superheroes across the board, they're kind of just wearing like a solid color. They're wearing boots, and they got a cape, so they can share those parts.
That's a great
the
point.
gloves.
So they're essentially repaints as well. Just yeah. No, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, the other stuff though was just what was the ATST driver, the Ewok that you mentioned. So yeah, not a whole lot, but at least they're doing these events, because I mentioned before, like Mattel's not doing any of these things. Funko is to an extent, but it's just kind of like, at least give them props for holding these and reaching out to the community and, just welcoming feedback, because, they might not always say what we want to hear or do what we want them to do, but, at least they're opening that dialogue and, showcasing things, and it's kind of hard to get excited about other things when, they're just coming through leaks, because like Mattel not announcing product, you just see it online and that's how it's coming. But so it's cool they're doing them at least, I think.
Yeah.
100% agree with you there. 100%. Also, the pipeline reveal thing that they're like, we don't know, maybe we'll do this. It's like, yeah, do that. Always do that. That's great. The most exciting stuff was the things at the end. You're like, later this year, we're hopefully going to make these new characters. Now we don't have to wait. Yeah, we don't have to deal with rumor mills and stuff like that. Which Yakface has a almost 100% batting average on those, if not 100%. But it's nice that they just come out and tell us. They've got the robot from the Mandalorian episode and the other Mandalorian lady. I forget her name, but I'll certainly buy her. And General Lando, if he comes with a cloth cape, I'll buy him, but just a cloth cape.
Just the cloth cape.
Just a cloth cape. I hate those.
You better
plastic
let them
capes.
know that so that they can make a note.
Well, shout out to fellow on Facebook named Josh, who made this wonderful Magneto cape for me. And he's been. I found him because in I think one of the Facebook groups he's making Mandalorian capes, which look great. So I'll send you guys the info if you want soft goods Mandalorian capes. But I asked him, I was like, any chance you can make me a Magneto cape here so that Sirian McKellen doesn't have that terrible plastic thing? I'm a soft goods nut. My wife, plastic. She always wants the plastic capes, so opposites attract.
I think it depends on how far your mileage goes with it as well. It obviously there's preference, but I think from my point of view, sometimes the plastic version does work better. Sometimes the cloth version does work better. And I'm going back to about the 2002, 2003, when the Attack of the Clones stuff came out. I remember there was at least one Yoda figure, I think I've still got it somewhere in a box somewhere, where his outfit was completely cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, cloth at that scale doesn't fit right. He looked like Baby Yoda before, 15 years before Baby Yoda was a thing, you know. So on that scale, you know, the plastic fits better. But yeah,
agreed.
Yeah, it really does depend though, because like let me grab him. The new vintage collection, Vader, has this. It's mixed media, right? It's got a soft goods cape, and then it has like plastic lower sculpted robes. But look how big this cape is.
Yeah.
Like, why does the cape need to be this big? It's ridiculous. It's like, I mean, it just kind of, it's just huge. Like, if they found a different material, maybe that a heavier material, it could drape better.
Yeah. Or less of the material, maybe.
Yeah,
because it's a scale thing, isn't it? Because they would have taken the measurements from the full outfit, so the full cape, and at that scale, the full cape is fine because it drapes, it has weight and everything. But at this scale, it's all floofy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But a millimeter off in that, in however you cut it, can make all the difference when you get to that scale.
Yeah.
I love that figure, by the way. I didn't originally order that one. I think I was chatting with you, Victoria, and I hadn't ordered it, and then it showed up somewhere again, and I got it. I kept it on card, so it can be part of my little carded Rogue One collection. I'm just delighted by it. That's Vader's sort of in that realm of like Luke Skywalker figures for me. I was like, I don't need any more of this character. I'm good.
Yeah.
But the cool card art with the hallway laser thing, I was like, yeah, I gotta have it.
Yeah, it's cool. The Rebel Trooper, though, that is something that I still do not get. I mean, that... Like, okay, so Vintage Collection, they have never repacked the same figure on a new card and given it a new number.
Mm-hmm.
Like, doing it with the one that comes in the Tanavi playset, to me, that's, like, not canon with the rest of the Vintage Collection. So, and then not to mention you're buying that set because it's a diorama for that figure. But, I mean, what is one figure against Darth Vader? You know, they didn't release, they didn't repack that one, like, in the original packaging, so... Maybe if you're a long-term collector, you have one lying around, but if you're new, or even if you are a long-term collector, like, I only had one of the previous release, so, okay, that's two. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to buy 4 more sets just so you can have at least 4, like, troopers scoring off against Vader? It's just...
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity. They should have just released, like, a 3-pack, right? Just throw them in a cardboard box or a baggie. Yeah, like they're doing with the Marvel Legends, right? They've got those AIM troopers or Hydra troopers at $15 for a 6-inch one. It just comes in a box, busted out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they should do that with those.
Troop building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. A lot of those waves that I've seen, like the one that's out now with like Anakin and Padme, they're like trying to get people. They say they're trying to get people into the line. Like, oh, yeah, if you haven't been collecting a while, you want to grab this one. But, if people like what they're doing now with these play sets or anything, you can't even find the stuff at the stores. How are they going to get people into this line with figures that they're releasing to get people into the line when no one can find them?
Yeah, it perplexes me.
It was the same thing with the Bespin play sets. Like, what figures did they release for that? So...
Yeah. And I'm in the camp that really loves that play set, by the way. There's... absolutely valid complaints about that one. It's flimsy. It's definitely overpriced. But when I had it all set up and was looking at it, I was just like, oh, it's so neat looking. I can't wait to have space to have it all set up someday with figures standing on it, having their little stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen some cool pictures on Instagram. If people can light them correctly, it looks cool. But
Speaking of slightly overpriced, the new vintage collection Slave One, I may have a bit of a gripe with because big Boba Fett fan, but £150 is not my idea of fun on a ship that I already have, because when that ship mold was first released, it was part of the lethal trackdown. Hunt of Mace Windu Clone Wars set, and you didn't just get
Clone Wars boss.
One. Yes, you got another ship with it. You got Mace Windu Starfighter. You got 5 figures, and the whole set cost for me, it cost £80. These days that's a bargain. But now we're just getting the one ship and one new accessory, which I don't believe is actually that new at all. The Hanning Carbonite block. And it's £150. To me, that's not very. Not very good.
You were gonna say quid there, weren't you?
Yeah. I do tend to say quid a lot, but yeah.
That's the price of toy inflation, unfortunately.
I know.
That's also why, like, the Millennium Falcon, which initially got released for $100, is now at Target for $400.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but China started developing its middle class, which is good, but that meant a lot of those prices for the cheap labor started to go up. Oil prices never really go down. They just, oh, it's gone up so much, it's terrible. Oh, it's great, it's going down. Yeah, but your toys are they're not gonna charge less for these things. They're always gonna creep up. Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah.
I bought it because I didn't have it before. I didn't buy it when it was the Amazon. It was originally an Amazon exclusive, right? When it was
Boba Fett version.
When it came out in the Boba Fett colors, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't buy it then and regretted it. So being able to get it for just $50 more these days was like, yay.
Well, for us it was Toys R Us. I remember distinctly.
The Lethal Trackdown set, that was
Yes.
Toys R Us. But then they released it in Boba Fett colors later on. But at that point, it was $100.
Yes.
Yeah. Dan, do you have the Slave one?
I do. Yeah,
Nice.
I actually got it. I got it when it came out. Or the newest version, whatever. Was it April that it came out? I finally opened it in November, like the week that we saw Boba Fett on Mando. I was like, all right, I need to open this now and do a video finally.
No better.
Yeah, no, I like it. I agree, though. It is overpriced by about $50.
Dan, you said you were drinking...
Sorry.
Oh, I said I was drinking a Coruscant cooler.
What's a Coruscant cooler?
Bourbon, cranberry, and lime.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good to me.
It's from the Galaxy's Edge cookbook. It's like become my go-to drink.
Oh, is it? There's a Galaxy's Edge cookbook?
Yeah, and it's got stuff that isn't at Galaxy's Edge, and some of the recipes that are items from Galaxy's Edge, they're slightly different in the cookbook. So it's not like perfect, but there's a lot of drink recipes, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, so it's kind of for everybody.
Oh, that's great.
I kind of like how some are slightly different, because that means you can, if you want the realist deal, you're gonna have to go to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Dan, is it true that in Florida they have a blue milk that's alcoholic?
Blue milk with rum and green milk with tequila.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lucky.
We don't get that in Disneyland.
What is the blue milk?
It's like a dragon fruit coconut milk mix. It's very fruity tasting, but it's more like about the mouthfeel. Because it's kind of like a creamy Slurpee.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's got a cool mouthfeel, and it almost feels gelatiny a little bit, but not really, but still more Slurpee. It's kind of hard to describe. And then the green milk is a little more citrusy, a little more floral almost. So it's kind of two different styles of milk depending on what you want. There's people who are like team blue, only blue, and hate green. And then there's some people who like, you're green, okay. And some people mix them. Did you try the green milk with the all the chili and chamoy and everything in there? The Toydarian swirl? Yeah, they did that last summer, right there, when they were open. It was pretty good for what it was, but I'm team blue milk myself.
Nice.
It sounds delicious.
I miss Disneyland. I'm like, it's been closed almost a year. It's unbelievable.
I know. It's insane. I was there like a week before it closed for the biggest lightsaber meetup ever.
Yeah, I
and
remember
now, like, it was insane because we couldn't move. Like, it was definitely a safety hazard, and Parks Management got involved and were pretty upset because we just, outside of Disneyland decided, hey, let's all show up. And so many people showed up. It was definitely a safety hazard. And you think about it now, nothing like that big could ever happen again.
Yeah.
Just with everything. Like, it's just not possible. So I'm glad I went. I'm glad I was there for it.
Sure.
But it was insane. I guess they're doing one tonight. Oh, actually, they're revealing a new lightsaber in Florida. A new legacy lightsaber that they're doing at Doc Ondar's. Everybody thinks it's Cal Kestis, which would be really cool if they start selling that, because that's the one that won there. They had a poll last October saying, which legacy lightsaber should we bring to Galaxy's Edge? Wow. And Cal Kestis won by quite a bit. But today, in their glass case at Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, they had a lightsaber underneath a cloth. And it said, tonight at 5 p.m., which I think is now, actually, they're going to be revealing it to see. Just kind of, cool. But it won't be available till the fall, but they just wanted to tease everybody and show it off. So.
Yeah.
Is that 5 p.m. Eastern time?
Hopefully it'll be available by the fall in the Disneyland.
Did you see in Disneyland, at Downtown Disney, the old Rainforest Cafe building, they're converting into a resistance base, a jungle base.
Yeah.
So in Downtown Disney, the Rainforest Cafe looked like an old Mayan pyramid. And they opened in the art gallery store, they gutted the art gallery, got rid of all the art, which pissed off a lot of artists who had their stuff there. But they put all the Galaxy's Edge merch that they weren't selling because the park's closed into that store, and they would rotate the stock of what was available. And now they decided they're just going to put the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge stuff inside the old Rainforest Cafe, put the art gallery back. Oh. Everybody's happy, but now we get a cool themed store, and they've been doing a lot of work on it this last couple weeks. So as soon as it's open, even though traveling's not recommended, I'm doing it anyways.
That's awesome.
I'm going to brave it and risk the get my mask on, hand sanitizer,
wear the mask and
make
be outside,
the trip.
man. I live in New York City, and like we've been going out since April or May, but just outside with a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go too. I already had the virus, so I don't really care. I'll go.
Oh, that's right. You had the virus.
Yeah. So. I've managed to avoid it. I work in medical, though. I work in pharmacy for my day job. I'm in a lab all day.
Oh,
so I deal with nobody at all.
Yeah, I work from home now. So does my wife. Yes, you should, if you're working in a medical lab, you should be on the list for vaccine, I would think.
I am, but by the time I looked for it, all the slots were gone for the month, so I have to wait till February 1st to see if I can get on the list.
Oh, all right. Well, hopefully soon.
Yes, you will.
I don't think we're going to get it until the fall.
Oh, they just revealed it. I don't know if you guys can see there on my camera. It is Cal Kestis.
Oh, cool.
Kind of a terrible picture.
There we go.
But there's the person reaching in. But yeah, that was just a couple minutes ago.
Oh my gosh,
cool.
that's fun.
I'll probably find better pictures and throw them up here
Yeah.
tonight.
So
I need to get Ahsoka's. I haven't bought any of those legacy lightsabers when I've gone, but I really want to get her because it's two of them, right? They both come together.
Two of them, yeah. It's a set of two, and the newest one, the only one that's available now, does color changing blades.
Oh,
so you hold the button
nice.
and you can change the colors on it, which is cool. The other ones were just white, I believe.
Sweet.
Nice. Yeah, I think Dan. I mean, anybody that's working in medical shouldn't even have to worry about getting on a list. I mean, they should come to you and be like, "Here you go."
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't actually carry it, which is weird, but it's a supply thing.
Yeah, I'm constantly at risk because of my work. I work in food retail, so it's not technically fast food; it's more convenience food. But we still have to face customers every day. We've got big screens on. So I'm constantly at risk. I may have already had it, but I have no idea. Because I suppose it matters not too much to me because it'd be difficult for me to get anywhere near a Galaxy's Edge. I'd have to go across the Atlantic, which and of course travel in our country has been shut off now. So. We'll have to wait and see.
One day.
So I was curious. Are any of you guys reading the High Republic stuff?
Not yet.
No, a friend of mine is, and he's really enjoying it.
It's fun. It's really cool. I'm liking it. Like, definitely, if you can. If you don't have time to read a book physically, I definitely suggest the audiobook for Light of the Jedi. It's really well produced. It's like 13 hours. So
I'm reading this one right now.
The Stand. Nice. Jeez. How many years have you been reading that for?
I love The Stand. I love The Stand. I read it when I was a kid. When the original miniseries came out, I read it like once since then. Since the new series has come out, now I've decided to reread it again. But it's
on a scale of Neil Gaiman's Sandman to War and Peace, how long is your book?
it's the Bible times 2.
Wow.
But yeah, so here this is my Dan will recognize this.
Yeah, of course.
A couple friends of ours went to
mode.
Galaxy's Edge, and they decided that they would bring me back some souvenirs.
Nice.
And since porgs are quite possibly my favorite thing in all of Star Wars, they got me the little porg glass. So that's on a nice display in our hallway over here.
Cool.
That's cool.
Now, there's actually 2 versions of that a lot of people don't know about. There's the newer ones are slightly smaller.
Oh, yeah?
So depending on when you got it, you might have one that's a little bit larger.
I think this is probably larger.
They both say first edition, though, which is the weirder part.
Whoa.
But yeah,
first
in
edition
Florida, they only had the
edition of
larger ones
one.
for about a month.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a cool little random fact about that mug.
That is cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How many times have you been to Galaxy's Edge?
I've made the trip about 10 times.
Cool. Are you like a season pass holder?
Yeah, I had an annual pass.
Was, right? We
Yeah,
were.
well, they just canceled our annual pass program.
Yeah, I heard about that.
For now, so
That's,
I'm waiting on my little refund.
Yeah, I only made it over twice, but both times I was just immersed. It was like, give it to me. When you're standing before the Millennium Falcon, there's just not really a way to, for the first time, there's not really a way to describe like that. It's just like it kind of overwhelms you a little bit. It's so cool.
I had to hold back the tears a little bit because I was filming it like for the opening morning. Open it for the public. So we'd been waiting since 4 a.m. I hadn't slept for like 2 days due to excitement and packing and everything. And we get there and it's like 8 a.m. We're walking, turn the corner and see the Falcon. And I had to like hold the camera away from my face and have like a little moment of silence while I caught my breath. It was like, I'm fine. It's a really cool feeling to see the full-sized Falcon and the spires around you and everything.
I'll wear
you're really
Depends
there
when I do it.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing that I want the most out of that is just to go see the darn thing. Yeah. Oh, you were talking about Doc Undar.
Yeah, Doc Ondar's den.
I love that animatronic character. I want more animatronic characters like that, and I don't understand why they haven't made a Black Series exclusive Doc Undar figure that you can purchase. Like,
we need one. I agree. He's so
a cool
maybe he has
alien.
too many accessories on his neck or whatever. The sculpt might be a little hard. I don't know.
He costs $40. He's twice the normal price. Who cares? Give him to me.
Yeah, I'd pay.
Chuck him into my veins.
In a heartbeat.
That'd be cool.
God, I would love that. I would love that
But
so much.
we still haven't even gotten Hammerhead though in the line. So if they did, they could just repurpose it, for Doc Ondar. But
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah. Please, hey Hasbro, Hammerhead, please, and then repainted as Doc Undar. I won't complain about the repaint if it's Doc Undar. I promise. I'm probably going to buy the Obi-Wan with the vinyl cape too because of the head. The head's different, right? The head's got the face printing. I mean that.
the face printing.
They look
it's pretty
great.
good.
I sat there looking at the pre-order and I was like, I didn't buy it, but then goes away and then you're like, I should have bought that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said yesterday he has an opaque lightsaber for the first time, and I was like, well, that looks better. Why don't they just do them all like that? It looked brighter.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
I love the swoosh thing that they put in with Dooku. They should all have interchangeable ones like that, please.
They should.
They got a much better picture of the
nice.
Cal Kestis lightsaber up.
Nice.
Oh,
So I was
nice.
wondering how they were going to do the end. And it looks, I don't know if that unscrews. Nobody's been able to hold it yet because it's behind glass. But the thoughts were maybe it would unscrew and you could have an adapter. So if you bought 2 of them, you could put them together like in the game.
Yes. Yes, that would.
Yeah, I'm waiting for info to see if they've said what color it's going to be, because that's the other big question is.
Yeah.
What color, or is it all the colors?
This is the thing. I've got the Master Replica's Darth Maul lightsaber, and that's the one that was like the first one that could do that with the adapter. You could
where you join them,
both
yeah.
of them together. Yeah. So there's no reason why they couldn't.
Yeah.
I need to upgrade my video game systems. I don't think I bought anything since like PS3. I had kids, and I know that if I had a video game system, I would never hang out with my kids. But we recently got a Switch, and I'm excited for the Star Wars Lego game that's coming out in the spring.
I cannot wait for Lego Star Wars.
Yeah,
Star Wars
you can play
Lego
pod
games
racing
are fun.
now if you want.
Oh, that's right. You know, I forgot about
Pod
that,
racing,
yeah.
and there's a couple of the Jedi Knight games are on there too for pretty cheap.
Yeah, I had that game on PC back in the day. It was so much fun, the pod racer.
Yeah.
I'm a big Racer Revenge fan as well.
Oh yeah. Was it just a couple different tracks?
They introduced a whole load of new stuff. They introduced new
It was the
tracks,
parts too, right? You like would go to the junkyard, like Watto's shop, and pick different parts to change.
Yeah,
the stats.
yeah, customized
That's
as
right.
well. Yeah, I got my copy of Racer Revenge in the last months I used my PS2, so I was like desperately trying to unlock everything possible before.
It's no Bombad Racer though.
What is this game?
You ever play that one? It's just Pod Racing Racer's Revenge. It's like the Pod Racing
Racer's
game
Revenge.
that we all knew.
Yeah,
But yeah, Racer's Revenge.
Yeah,
is
Racer
like an
Revenge,
updated
basically
version
the
of it.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Legends continuity, it happened 2 years before Attack of the Clones.
But you can still play that on PS4. I have that on PS4, and I've sat there and played it.
Yeah,
They sell it for like $10 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've got a
So if you
PS4.
have a PS4, you can play that. Oh, have any of you guys played the newest game, Squadrons?
I've got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once.
I haven't got around to it.
Once? I'm loving it.
hard.
I like it.
It's hard.
I like to pull my chair up right next to the TV and put my face in it and just, yeah, I'll spend hours doing that.
Have you been able to try it in VR?
No, and I have a PSVR and I haven't done it yet. It's upstairs in my son's room with his PlayStation. My PlayStation doesn't have the VR attached, and I don't want to go into his room. He's 15, so I'm like,
Okay, yeah, understandable. Yeah.
That was the coolest. There's games that looks real interesting to me. It reminds me of the X-Wing and TIE Fighter games when I was a kid on like the PC. Did you guys play those when you were younger?
Yep.
Yeah, it was like one of the first things I remember about Star Wars. Just thought it was so cool where you could sit and look like through the cockpit and fly around and stuff.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Squadrons is, I mean, you're changing power, like you're diverting power from lasers to shields, or into your engines. You're doing like cool maneuvers, and it's all from a cockpit view. But like you were saying, VR, you can look around the cockpit and see space and see all of it, all while still, you know, looking down at your controls and seeing what's going on.
What VR system was it designed for? Like Oculus or?
They've got it, I believe, for Oculus, but PSVR as well.
What's PSVR?
It's just an attachment for your PlayStation for PS4.
Wow.
You buy it separately. It's like $300, but it's the headset and the camera and different little controllers that have balls on them. But you can use a regular.
I'm really
PlayStation
out of it
controller
with video games, so like this is all like news to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a VR helmet for your PlayStation, but you can also use the VR helmet if you plug any other HDMI device into it, like an Apple TV or something. You can make a giant screen in front of you through the helmet and watch movies, or you can watch whatever, play other video game systems with it.
Complete
it's just like
immersion.
a giant screen in front of your face. Yeah, pretty cool.
They sort of did what you'd may call a preview of the Squadrons VR thing in the little
Battlefront.
VR experience for Battlefront 2, didn't they?
Battlefront 1.
Oh, was it Battlefront 1?
Yeah, it's Battlefront 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Battlefront 2 doesn't have that part. But it was
that's my credentials thrown out the window. Yeah, it's because I have a weird relationship with the Battlefront games. Anyway,
I think we all do. Yeah.
yeah. Because I'm still waiting for Battlefront 3 from Pandemic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember that?
I liked the old PlayStation 2 Battlefront games when the
That's
new
what
one
I'm
came
talking
out.
about, yeah.
I loved those, and then this new one came out, and it was like you can go to Endor and Hoth and that's it. And I was like, what?
Yeah, and then Battlefront 2, the most recent one, had a rocky start, but now where it's at, it's probably one of the best Star Wars games out there. It's actually really good now.
It is really fun to play, yeah. It's like
cool.
And the community's growing, too. Yeah, they actually, I don't know if it's still free, but the company that has Fortnite, they were giving it away for free for PC. Battlefront 2, like last week or so. So all you had to do was go in and say, I want it, and it's yours to download forever for free. On PC.
Nice.
Epic Game Store, I think is what it was.
Yeah, that sounds...
Don't mind me if I just...
I don't know if it's still up, though. It might have only been for a week.
Googling.
Just going to go check. No, somebody mentioned, I think it was you, Adam, you mentioned the Force Effects lightsabers. At one point, I had every single Master Replica's Force Effects, and then I think it was 2013, 2014, like at the height of the market. Like, I ended up selling, like, most of them.
Oh, no.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Hasbro was, like, re-releasing them. So it was like, okay, well, the original versions if Hasbro's making them again. So I bought a few of them, again, over the years. Like, I don't know if it'll show up, but here's Ray's right here.
Hey.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Kind of shows up, kind of doesn't.
Well, with the Master Replicas, I've got... Not to burst or anything. I've still got my Master Replicas. I've got 6 in total, if you include both Darth Maul halves as one lightsaber each. I've got Vader's, I've got Mace Windu's, Yoda's, Obi-Wan's Episode 3, and I think that's it. But the thing is, when Hasbro took that license, I was a bit miffed that they sort of miffed that they just re-released like the core ones like Anakin's and Vader's, and they didn't. I don't feel like they took the opportunity to make some what I would consider improvements. For example, the Mace Windu one takes 6 batteries, the others take 3, and because not just 6 batteries, 6 AA batteries. The bigger ones. And some of the more recent Master Replicas, they designed to take AAAs, so smaller, so they can make the handles more slimline and more screen accurate. So, I would have liked to have seen what Hasbro would do with like a redesigned Mace Windu lightsaber, because it's nice. However, it's a chunky boy, to put it politely.
Maybe,
maybe
when if they do an Elite version, because that's kind of where they're putting all the new like technology into the Elite sabers, and they're really expensive, but occasionally they go on pretty good sale, like on Amazon. I got the Emperor Palpatine for Elite saber.
Oh yes.
About a month ago. I haven't opened it yet, so I'll see what that's like, because I do have a custom that somebody made for me several years ago. It's a Darth Maul, but they like completely gutted it. They made a kyber crystal chamber in there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
It's got like the flickering blade, the flash on clash, and it's really cool.
Cool.
There will be a point that I get the Darth Sidious lightsaber, I suspect.
Nice.
When it was revealed, I was like, buy it! And then I was like, no, I don't need to get into collecting lightsabers now. That's just a dangerous rabbit hole. But
it does the lightning.
Yes,
it does the lightning effect.
Does it do lightning? I was getting out my red button because it does the wall burn.
Thumbnail because he has.
So there's a thing. If you hold the button down, it does like a wall burn. Let me see if I can get it to do it. There you go.
Oh,
like
nice.
You hold it against the wall, and it's supposed to be
goodness.
like it's. Yeah, it's a pretty cool, neat like new feature they've got in these things. And then you can also do like blaster bolt deflection, and it'll light up certain parts of the blade. Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
amazing.
Neat.
That's really cool.
It's cool being an adult today.
Right?
Adults, what are those?
I had a lightsaber as a kid, and it legit looked like a flashlight and had a green tube.
Yeah,
that was it. It was just this tube.
It can't be worse than the ones they're making now. They're like the characters are the hilts and the.
Oh, I bought every single one of those because of how awful they are. Yes.
I wish they'd do more of the just simple crash and bash ones, the telescopic ones that you can put on your belt, because those were the ones that I got before I was like old enough to have the Master Replica ones. I still have my Qui-Gon Jinn one from the Phantom Menace, and most of the paint has worn off now. But for some reason, they are reluctant to do any Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber at all. And it's like, if I could have any like lightsaber as a Hasbro Elite lightsaber, it would be Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree with you. I love Qui-Gon.
I was not kidding.
I just bought his.
That's rubbish.
Oh my god!
It's so bad. That's R2.
I want it.
This is Luke Skywalker.
That's absolutely terrible.
I have not seen these.
It's so bad.
What a terrible thing. I love it.
Victoria, when that picture came up when we were sharing that round of those, I thought they were push pops.
They look like candy, don't they? Yeah, they look like they would be. But this is an official Stormtrooper lightsaber, as ridiculous as that might sound. And then there's the Vader.
These are just designed for people to turn into bongs. They're just designed for people to turn into bongs.
You watch, 20 years from now, they'll be making a Disney Plus series, and they'll be like, pull out your Stormtrooper lightsaber.
Yeah.
Some kid will be like, yeah.
Yeah, these things are ridiculous.
I cried when I saw it because I had that.
They are ridiculous, but sometimes it's the ridiculous things that, like, in 10 years, people, like, are after, and they'll pay like tons of money to get them.
Yeah. The other ridiculous part is this paper that comes with it. It's huge. Why is it like it's gigantic?
Do you know
there's
why
nothing in there. There's nothing good in there.
Do you guys know why the last 17 Kenner figures are so expensive?
No one bought them.
No one bought them. At the point in time that those came out, Star Wars was over. No one bought them at that point. That's why they're expensive. If you see the thing that's no one buys, there's the distinct possibility that that's the one that later on is going to be worth a lot of money.
That's what happened in 2014, 2015 with the vehicles when they did like the Rebels, like super lightweight, super like cheap plastic like vehicles, and they made everything smaller and more, like lighter, more simple.
Yeah.
For some reason, those are super rare on eBay, and when they do show up, people will pay like more than like the definitive versions for them. It is so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's an effect that as well. Sometimes that will be the only representation of that particular vehicle or whatever that comes out as well. It's like that happens a lot with Transformers, and big into Transformers as well. So it's like one of the series that came out like 5 years ago. There was one character that only ever had one figure made for him, and there's like a £10 for us, maybe $10 for you, but he is going for megabucks, and he's a tiny little scout figure as well. But because that was the only version of that character they ever made, that's what happens.
Yeah, I never got my Clone Wars 501st Trooper that was released on the Yoda card back. I would never be able to purchase. I mean, I could purchase it now, but I'm not going to. It's got to be $100 or something like that now.
Which one is that?
It was a 501st Trooper, and it was in the Clone Wars animated style back when they was the Yoda card back. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Those were only in Europe, in Canada, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It was another tail end thing. They're like, because no one cares about Europe. Right? I mean,
I mean, I can't say much because we've left the EU, but whatever.
We've all had our countries make some political mistakes.
Yes, unfortunately.
God, where is it? Yeah, I'll have to hunt it up in Yoda card back.
Yeah, I did buy some of those from I think from Canada. I think it was. I have them on the shelf behind me, but there was a Commander Cody, there was a Captain Rex, there was an R2-D2 that is fabulastic. Okay, yeah. No, I don't have that one.
No, I don't either, and it breaks my heart.
No, those are expensive though. Super expensive.
Yeah.
I remember the animated style, but I'm not sure I remember the Yoda card backs. All I can think of are the Captain Rex ones.
They were a super small run because that's when Disney took over and they canceled the plans for Attack of the Clones in 3D.
Right,
and they had shipped everything. But I got a question for you guys. If you could apprentice yourself to any Jedi in the Star Wars universe, who would you select and why? Let's start with Dave.
Qui-Gon. I don't know. I was at the right age. I love that movie. He was just so cool, and just seeing like how wise he seemed in the movie. Maybe I was impressionable at the age when I saw Phantom Menace, and I just didn't realize, Jedi could move like that and stuff. And I don't know. And I like green lightsabers. There's an answer for you.
Nice. Dan, what about you?
Avar Kriss from Light of the Jedi. I actually really, really, really like her. She senses the Force
really
through
cool.
music. Through music. It's a unique...
I only learned about that today. I was like, that is such a cool aspect.
Read the book. She has such a cool moment or listen to the audiobook, because it's even better because there is music playing while it happens. But she has a really big part in the story where she uses that Force ability in hearing the Force around the galaxy. It's so cool. So absolutely, Avar Kriss is my go-to.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very cool.
That's the
Either
second
way.
big recommend about this book now, so might have to do it.
Yeah. Tom, what about you?
Probably Luke Skywalker, Last Jedi version.
Interesting.
In the original script to Attack of the Clones, there's the scene where Yoda and Count Dooku have their big fight, which I think is very silly looking. It's fun, it's all, but it's silly. In the original script that was, released as a book or whatnot, Yoda just stands there, right? Doesn't move. Count Dooku's trying to attack him and trying to do stuff, and Yoda just passively is able to block everything, right? Because that fits with what Yoda's original teaching was to Luke in The Empire Strikes Back. It's you use it for knowledge and defense and never for attack. And I thought the prequels sadly kind of got away from that, which was a thematic point of them. But Luke in The Last Jedi, his final thing is the recognition of how the Jedi are supposed to be. If they're going to exist as an institution at all, it can't be this dogmatic thing that it was. It has to be this sort of more passive sort of thing. So that would be my choice.
Interesting.
Or Darth Maul, because he's really cool,
It's funny, like you say that about Yoda, how the scenes in the book, like if they would have done that in the film and then saved like his antics and everything for Revenge of the Sith when he comes up to Sidious, that could have been kind of cool.
Agreed.
Attack of the Clones was a movie that was based off of making choices to alleviate fan reactions to The Phantom Menace, and it sadly shows. I complained to the high heavens about The Phantom Menace. Jar Jar Binks is the worst thing ever, blah, blah, blah. And now I almost cried when I got my Black Series version of him, and my deep level of regret that we didn't get the full Lucas idea of what that character was, how he starts off as kind of a goofy, kooky guy, and then by the end of Revenge of the Sith, he's got a parallel story to Anakin where he's just this broken, corrupt political thing, like... Darn.
Adam, what about you, Jedi Master?
I would have to probably agree with David and say Qui-Gon Jinn, because I was about 9 when The Phantom Menace came out. I'd just, 2 years beforehand, just got into Star Wars as a whole. And Phantom Menace came out, and he's like, and Qui-Gon to me was not just a wise a person. It felt like he was an empathetic person. It felt like he was a person to look up to, and the kinds of heroes I gravitate towards in media tend not to be, the traditional action heroes like Schwarzenegger or whatever. They have their place, but like my ideal heroes tend to be like people like Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, and guys like that. So Qui-Gon fit that for me, and like the thing that really cemented or sort of explained aloud my thought process of how I really like Qui-Gon is when Dave Filoni said in the Mandalorian Gallery series, it was where he was touching on how Qui-Gon is more enlightened than the other Jedi. Not in a what's the word? I've forgotten words now. English, what are they? Anyway,
he's not stuck with the dogmatic problems that were responsible for the end of the Jedi Order, right?
Yes,
the Jedi Order got so used to its traditions and its rules that it became a bureaucratic establishment which was destined to fail. If it wasn't Vader, it was whoever the next one was. Qui-Gon was a guy that was like, no. I wish it had gone into a little bit more of why that was, but that was definitely the intent of that character and why he got kicked out of the counselor or whatever it was. Entirely agree.
Yeah, and that.
Can I say something real quick?
No.
There is a fairly popular, well-known critique of the Phantom Menace that postulates that there is no main character in the Phantom Menace, right? Who's the main character? I have no idea who the main character is because everyone thought it was going to be either Anakin or Obi-Wan. The main character in the Phantom Menace is Qui-Gon Jinn. He's who we start the movie with. He's basically who we end the movie with. He's who we spend He's the main character. He's neat.
This is what I thought as well, to a degree, because I remember when I was younger looking at the poster and thinking, Liam Neeson is top billed. He's the first name in the cast, but it doesn't feel like there's a main protagonist in a traditional sense. But he is the top billing. So is he the main character? But this is Anakin's story, is it not? And it's like, but yes, a long way around to say that. Yes, Qui-Gon Jinn is definitely. I would call him my space dad almost because I gravitate to him, so much, and the way he has this. I think one of my favourite things about him is the way that he has this quiet, assured confidence as well. And it's like he knows very early on that Padme is Queen Amidala. He has that instinct straight away, almost. And it's like when she reveals it on Naboo before the retaliation, everybody is like, "Oh my goodness!" except him. He smirks because he knows. And it's like, yeah, of course you do. You have that insight.
Yeah, totally. Same here. I got to go with Qui-Gon Jinn. I've for the same reasons you guys have already outlined so well. He's just really enlightened. He's really he's wise. He's kind of doing things a little bit differently, but he has his reasons for doing that. And yeah, I just think he's great. I kind of wish we got more of him in some capacity.
Kenobi, maybe?
We might.
Yeah,
We might.
Hope so.
Yes.
Hope so.
Liam Neeson has definitely said he wants to reprise his role again.
The rumor mill seems to think that it's going to happen.
I would be stunned if they didn't do that. Like,
absolutely,
a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's
yeah, love it.
Another thing as well is that if I can just real quick, is that it feels like I don't know about you, but it feels like I could learn a lot more from Qui-Gon than other people. It feels like he's more willing to teach than other Jedi are. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody else gets that feeling.
Well,
from me,
yeah, I mean, he's pretty
I feel
wise,
like it feels
right?
more open. Yeah, it just feels more open.
Well, Yoda just tells you everything you're doing is wrong and based on fear, right? I love Yoda, but in the prequels, he's just sort of like, oh, everything you're thinking bad. Hide in closet, you must do, and like, Yoda from Empire Strikes Back is a more interesting than. But yeah, Qui-Gon is definitely the one that's like, yeah, he's going to tell you how it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was cool that Yoda arc in the Clone Wars where Liam Neeson came back and voiced Qui-Gon.
Oh, yes.
He was
yes.
actually the one responsible for figuring out how to become a Force ghost and taught Yoda some stuff. So that added a lot for me.
Yeah, they did originally plan a little bit of that for Revenge of the Sith, didn't they?
Yeah,
there was a cut moment that Yoda was supposed to be communicating with Qui-Gon.
I think Liam Neeson wasn't quite as into Star Wars. Like, Star Wars kind of gained its popularity back a bit with the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I remember at one point there was a quote of him, talking about the prequels, and he's like, "Well, they just become sort of silly, haven't they?"
And I remember when I was a kid being heartbroken seeing an interview with Harrison Ford when he kind of brushed off Star Wars, saying, "Oh, it's just that silly space movie I was in 20 years ago."
And yet he's going to be in Indiana Jones Part 5.
Yep.
There we go. Imagine how heartbroken we would have been if we lived in the days of Alec Guinness, when he, beloved Obi-Wan Kenobi, basically told people to stop watching Star Wars too much.
There's there's conflicting stories about that. I think like he has his grumpy times, but I've seen a bunch of interviews with him being like, "Oh, I got the script and it was from this young guy named George Lucas who'd made a couple of neat movies, and I was like, oh, this is a nice little kid's story. This is kind of fun." So,
yeah. I think Alec Guinness came from that traditional actor's background where he's like he wants to do the best of his own work and rather than and it's like if someone gets too obsessed or into just one thing of his, that's when it gets a bit come on, I've done other things.
It's like your former neighbor Patrick Stewart. Like he didn't want to be part of Star Trek anymore. He was over and done with it.
Yeah.
And now he's like, no, Captain Picard is an important concept. And these days, we need a little bit more of the Captain Picard and thing. So he's like, I'm coming back to the role, guys. I'm doing it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I did try out the University of Huddersfield for a while. And he, of course, is Chancellor of University of Huddersfield. And there was this big, room, like one of the first days you are there, everybody's saying, if you ever meet him, do not mention X-Men or Star Trek. and you did see a little bit of that in the interviews he did. I once remember seeing him on Graham Norton like 5 years ago where he was promoting the thing that he was doing at the time.
Yep.
And then someone, I think Graham himself, joked about Star Trek, and then and Patrick just turned to him mid-sentence with a sardonic, "Well, we could talk about that if you like," and then went back to what he was trying to talk. So it can be confident sometimes.
The point is, they all come around eventually.
Patrick Stewart has a house in Park Slope, which is nearby us, though we've never seen.
We're talking too much about Star Trek
Oops.
here. I think we need to.
This isn't a Star Trek podcast.
All right, if you got to be apprenticed by a Sith Lord, who would it be, and why is it Darth Sidious?
Why Darth Sidious, Tom?
Oh, I don't trust Darth Sidious to save my life. No way, man. I'd go Darth Maul. Darth Maul cared when his brother got killed, right? He cared. He was like, no, Darth Maul. That's all I had about that.
I think we're waiting for the dog to quieten down. But
Sorry, that's me. That's my dog.
Oh.
Sorry, she's
sorry.
yeah, it could be the mailman or something.
Oh,
but
I see.
she's a little bundle of barks.
No. Keep forgetting there's a slight time difference. But
Yes. What time is it over there right now?
mm-hmm.
Oh, for Adam, you've got to be
10:45.
11:45, right?
Yes. Oh no, 10:45.
10:40. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
10:45.
22:45. Yeah.
Well, cool guys. This has been fun. Anybody have anything they want to add to our conversation here? Anything going on with anybody? Anything new that since we've last chatted about?
Not really, unfortunately. COVID kind of messed up my theme park coverage, being that I'm a Disneyland person. I mean, and the only new thing we just talked about, Cal Kestis' lightsaber, which they
pretty
did
cool.
confirm.
Yes.
I was looking; they did confirm it will be. You can get two of them and attach them
shit.
together.
Oh,
but no
excellent.
confirmation on
Excellent.
color yet. So
That's really
Okay.
fun. So people really like this Cal Kestis character. I haven't played the video game.
it's a good game.
He's
It's-
really he's a really endearing character. Is Cal Kestis?
Okay.
He's got the naivety you'd expect from someone whose eyes are being opened to this thing, but he's also someone where you meet him in the story. He's had to hide who he is because it's during the Imperial occupation. He survived Order 66 when he was basically 5 years old, so that's had an effect on him as well. So,
and what's
but
cool
he's a
about the
really
game is you get to play that. You get to play
Yes.
his escape
oh my goodness,
when
yeah.
the order happens. You get to
Yeah,
like relive
yeah, 'cause
that
you-
memory.
'cause-
So yeah, it's a really cool story, really well done character.
Yeah, I
and
feel so as well.
it's-
Not too many spoilers, but
Yeah.
when you play through that flashback of Order 66, it got me in the heart so much, especially when the music started going as well, because it played the music from Revenge of the Sith, and it was like, okay, all
You
these
got it.
feelings coming back now, and this is so sad.
Yeah, the game is very much a Star Wars experience.
Nice.
It is, yeah.
Because of all the things they have you do in it. It reminded me a lot when I was younger playing Shadows of the Empire for the first time, where you get to
Right.
pilot a snowspeeder, you get to go on foot, you're in space sometimes. It's very similar to that, where you're in vehicles at times, you're doing different things, and they've kind of got you doing a bunch of wild, crazy stuff as a Jedi.
Yeah.
All right.
But with a really, really good story and like beautiful artwork throughout the whole game.
It is, yeah.
I have a tough time
absolutely.
with video games outside of Pokemon Go, but maybe I'll give that one a shot. That
I
sounds-
I haven't
that sounds-
finished it. I'm still. I started it like when did it come out? Like it was like 2019, right?
last year.
Yeah, November
Yeah.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when
November-
I started it, and I never finished it, so I need to get back into it. See if I can
Yeah.
finally
It's
do it.
it's
I'm bad
definitely-
about
it's-
games.
Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. I mean, I'm looking forward to, in terms of video games, I'm looking forward to what Lucasfilm Games is going to bring us. And apparently, like the next big thing is going to be an open world Star Wars game as well, which I'm kind of excited for, because I love open world games where you can just explore, you can mill around, you can do things at your own pace.
Yeah.
So like I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, you know, I like going around cowboy country, you know, things like that. But it's like, but what if that? But you know, planet to planet to planet,
Multiple
to planet.
planets,
And
yeah.
you get that bit with Fallen Order, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
A
But you're
little
still
bit,
boxed
yeah.
in. It'd be like Star Wars Galaxies, but not broken.
Right, I heard
Basically.
Star Wars Galaxies didn't
Yeah.
work very well. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Dan,
Yeah,
any chance I can see your Kowakian monkey lizard?
absolutely.
how dare you? This is a family show.
Let me see if I can get him close. I've got him rigged to my chair. So he
I'm in
doesn't,
love with these things. I made my own little puppet one when I was a kid,
See if I can turn him on.
which
here.
I wish I still had, but
But yeah, it's $70. Has this little remote thing and a wire, so you can like hide it behind you. And he has a little magnet perch that you put on your shoulder under your shirt, and he'll just sit right
Don't
on
have
there.
it too close to your eyes. Yeah, I tend to pluck them out for some reason.
yeah, love that. I'd forgotten about those.
They had them on shopdisney.com for a bit, and I intended to go back and grab one, and I just forgot. And then they got like a new batch of merchandise, and when that happened, they removed all the listings from the previous batch of stuff. So yeah,
Well, they'll probably have them at the downtown Disney store if you make the trip,
yeah, I got to do that.
just for the theming, just to go see it. They're gonna
Yeah,
have Ray
just
Speeder
kind of-
outside, so that's gonna be kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
One thing we were talking about with Fallen Order that I know you may not have known if you haven't played it is the lightsaber pieces from Savi's workshop at Galaxy's Edge are lightsaber pieces in the game. So when you like randomly
I
as
was
you collect
wondering about
boxes and
that.
stuff, you'll get little pieces like just this sleeve or just this emitter, but of the different themes from Galaxy's Edge. And so you can customize a
I
mix
was
and match
absolutely
version
wondering
of a
if
Galaxy's
that
Edge
was the
saber in
case.
game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They name them a little bit differently because
Yeah.
there's enough to make 8 lightsabers, 2 per theme. So in the game, they gave some of the themes a second name, like duty and resolve instead of peace and justice. So they're the same thing as peace and justice, but the extra pieces they called something else.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of a neat tie-in that we don't see done that well. We always hope for these cool tie-ins of like, oh, maybe the game will tie in with the show and the movie, and it doesn't always execute very well. But that one actually worked pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's your custom lightsaber, right? Like you build your own.
Yeah, this is the one
saber
from the Savi's workshop, and you can like unscrew the pieces and put different pieces on, and it's got a blade where you can put kyber crystals in there that you buy at Doc Ondar's, and
I know
those
that
kyber crystals work with the. I'm kind of taking it apart here, but inside's just like a plain chassis.
Yeah,
I've got.
And it's the pommel isn't it the Crate Dragon Tooth or something?
Rancor tooth.
Rancor.
Yeah, it's a Rancor tooth.
Because I've seen that before. I think Pixel Dan has his one of those. So
that's one of the more popular ones, the Rancor tooth. And that's like the elemental nature that's supposed to be like, I don't know if it's like bantha leather. I forget what kind of leather that's supposed to be.
I still want to get the Rancor tooth set of flight glasses.
Oh, those are really cool too. Those are really.
Well, it's a dual weapon, right? If you don't have it on, you can stab somebody with it on the other end.
I know that at the point in time I eventually go to Galaxy's Edge, I'm gonna have to spend to do the Savi's workshop thing. I heard it's really fun.
It's an experience.
Yeah,
it's. I think it's totally worth it too, because you get a blade, you get a bag, you get a cool pin, and you get a whole like show for 15-20 minutes.
Yeah,
it's really cool. And it's kind of emotional. Same was like with the Falcon. When you get there and you get a little emotional, they do a really good job with the lighting and music in the show.
Yeah,
that like you're building your lightsaber. You really are there building your lightsaber, and it's a moment. So if you let yourself just be into it, you can. Yeah, it's.
I'm not always a cantankerous jerk. Sometimes I can allow myself to enjoy things.
I wouldn't have thought that about you at all, being a cantankerous jerk. So.
Let me tell you what I dislike.
Again.
Yeah, no, well, cool, guys. Anything you want to add? Let's start with Tom. Where can our listeners go to find you online? What have you been up to on social media? Just tell us give us a little rundown of what's going on in Tom's corner of the internet.
Oh, not much for old Tom here. You can find me at Woozlin Demon on Twitter if I'm cantankerously complaining about something there, or posting happy Pokemon gifs about something else. I've got an Instagram, but I've updated it once this last year, maybe. I don't know. You can always hump me up on Facebook too. I'm a grumpy guy, but a friendly grumpy guy.
Yeah, there's a difference. Dan, what about you? Where can our listeners go to look you up online, and what's been going on the Dano channel?
Not a whole lot since Mandalorian ended has been going on the Dano channel. But that's at youtube.com/the Dano channel, or on Instagram. I'm actually more active there lately. Dano Flores, Dano Florez. And I have a couple communities that I run that are centered around Galaxy's Edge. Mubo's Droid Builders Club, where we customize droids. We'll take the Galaxy's Edge droids, paint them, or add new things to them, and just kind of make them cooler than they are. $100 plastic toy. Take them up a notch. So that's a group called Mubo's Droid Builders Club, which I run. And then also the Batu Bounty Hunt, which is kind of like a giveaway thing that I've been doing online since COVID, and since we can't go to the parks. But it started last year before this all happened, where I would go to the park and we would basically a way to play as adults and Star Wars fans. Kids could play too. We had families show up, but through Instagram and going live, I'd have people track me down and find me. Or now I put puzzles hidden in my videos or hidden on Instagram, and if people can decipher the Arabesh or ancient Jedi text, whatever I do, if they figure out the puzzle and get the answer to me first, I'll send them a prize. I'll send them a Hasbro Darksaber, or whatever I've got lying around that I think would be a cool prize. So
yeah, that's
check
really
those things out.
That is
just
really
fun
cool.
Community projects to give people something to be excited about.
Yeah, and you were doing the Beskar too, right, for a bit?
Yeah, 3D printed. Yeah, I got 3D printed Beskar. I'm selling those.
Yeah.
Those are through the Batu Bounty Hunt shop, but those have like
they're
Batu
really
Bounty
cool.
Hunt written on the side and everything, and same with the bags of credits, all that stuff. So yeah, look us up.
Good stuff. Adam, what about you?
Oh, promotion. Owner. You can mainly find me on Twitter at, this is going to sound like a really pretentious username, but it's Swift Agent 24 on Twitter. But the main thing, and I usually retweet stuff that I agree with or like or whatever. But the main online thing I tend to do these days is Byte. It's like an alternative to TikTok, and it's from the guys who originally created Vine. And I do toy reviews, I do toy skits on there, so I've got it linked to my Twitter anyway, but if you find me on Byte, say hi. And I've got plenty of Star Wars, Transformers, Jurassic toy videos for your entertainment, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Awesome stuff. And Dave, how about you? Where can our listeners go to find you
I'm
online?
mainly on Instagram under Jurassic Dave 93. I'm on Twitter, Jurassic Dave 93. I have a handful of videos on YouTube. I'm not really doing a whole lot right now. I've not been very present online, but I've just really been retweeting or reposting something in my story of other people's that I like. I've been tinkering around my old house here the last few months, but that's about to change soon. The new year and stuff, I feel more invigorated to be doing more pictures or whatever it is I'm into. But yeah, that's really about all I've been up to lately.
Awesome. Well, guys, this has been fun.
Absolutely.
Highlight of my week.
I like this format.
I've had a blast.
I think we'll do it more often. I want to get each of you guys on the show within the next several episodes. It's it'll be great. We'll talk about the games. Adam, I know we've been meaning to do one for a bit now about games, so we'll get that done. Yeah. And Dave, I'm sure we can come up with something to talk about regarding the film news or TV news or all the media that was announced recently for Disney Plus. Dan, something about the theme parks, or I'm sure there's plenty. We'll find something.
There's always new stuff they're coming out with.
Yeah, there's always new stuff. We can say about the merch or
share those drink recipes with old Tom.
I could do a couple hours on that.
That's actually a good topic. I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Mixing cocktail hour.
I'm into it. I'm definitely into it.
Yeah, we'll turn this into an actual cantina, and we'll make some drinks.
Oh, fabulous. I'd have to say as well, thank you, Victoria, for gathering us all together, rallying us around, and I agree, definitely, if we can do like round discussions like this again, that would be amazing.
Really fun.
For sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Absolutely. And cool. Tom, I'm sure we'll talk toys and recent reveals and stuff before too long. So.
I'll complain about something. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Yeah.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Yeah, because you can't tell a stormtrooper from a stormtrooper, right?
You said like Qui-Gon has this lightsaber and we need to have that lightsaber released. It's a green lightsaber, right? Like, what's the difference between the things? I don't. This one's green.
Listen,
that
boy,
one's green.
Let me tell you about the green lightsaber from Qui-Gon Jinn. The scalloped handle, man.
I legitimately, when Attack of the Clones came out and then Revenge of the Sith, I didn't know that the stormtroopers in those looked different. I was like, it's the same thing.
Well, cool, guys. Hey, thanks again for doing this. It's been fun. And, I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys really soon in the near future. So, cheers.
Thank you. This was delightful.
Thank you very much. May the Force be with you.
This is the way.
This is the way. Take care. All right. Thanks, guys. And that's a wrap for this episode. Victoria's Cantina began on YouTube, and you can find plenty of toy content on the Victoria's Cantina YouTube channel. We are also on Instagram, showcasing toy photography at Victoria's Cantina, as well as Facebook at Victoria's Cantina, and on Twitter, ranting and raving about toys and other nonsense at Vic's Cantina. For fun and random toy clips, follow us on TikTok at Victoria's Cantina. Got a question or something you'd like to share with us? Drop us a line in the fax machine. You can email victoriascantina@yahoo.com. If you are so inclined and wish to drop a coin in the tip jar, we are on Patreon, where you can gain greater access to the channel while helping to keep the content rolling. For VC branded merchandise such as t-shirts, ball caps, mugs, and other fun stuff, visit us on Spring and TeePublic. Links to all of these magical places can be found in the show notes. Do you got a minute or two? If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star rating and drop a brief review explaining why you enjoy the show. As always, I'm Victoria, and no matter where you're listening out in the galaxy, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to the Cantina Chatter Podcast.